Hey everybody! Hello, hello, hello. Today is November 15th, 2018. It's my day 2.188. Um, and today's video is going to be about a thing I experienced yesterday when I was at work. And it was one of those things, and I had mentioned this before, sometimes I forget that I transitioned. Okay? You don't see this. Okay? You only see, you know, what's your eyes see. Okay? We don't have little mirrors in front of our eyes to show us what we see. But what I want to talk about is lately I've been wondering, not that I make a mistake, but wondering about, and not necessarily is this as good as it gets, but an idea about being content or maybe the next stage. Talk about transitioning, going full time. If you have surgery, if that's in your future, that's what you want to do, you have it. And you kind of get to a point where you're like, look, I've done everything I want to do. Are there things that I could, that I necessarily don't necessarily like about myself? And I'll talk about myself here. Number one, I'm overweight. I'm obese. Okay. I can exercise. I can eat better, and I'm doing that. Um, you know, um, my face is kind of pudgy, and so really I don't have like strong cheekbones or anything, for like facial feminization surgery, but I'm not really interested in that. Now I would like to have bigger breasts. I mean, we all, wouldn't we all? But um, as I looked myself in the mirror yesterday, went to the ladies' room, and in a room full of women, and it was all the stalls were taken, and we had to wait, and people are coming and going, and looking in the mirror, and doing that as they leave and everything. And it was like I was just accepted. I was just one of the people in the room, and I didn't know all of them, and so it wasn't like people that I didn't. There were people in there that had never met me before, and so it's not like it was a year or two ago when it was like people I work with got an email that said Robin is transitioned. She is she, her, Mrs. Parks, etc., etc. So, you know, I looked myself in the mirror, and to myself I said, you I want to say you are where you need to be, but this is what I have chosen. This is my life. This is, in this moment, um, this is it. And it's not to say again, is this as good as it gets? I mean, definitely we can always improve. Um, but I just recognized that I did what I did, and I am what I am, and just being ourselves. I wonder if that is um, the final frontier. That's where we are. And I don't know if I'm making any sense, and I apologize if I'm not. But um, you know, from here on out, there's other opportunities, just as far as being a person, or you could say being a woman. You know, but it was something that I felt just some confirmation. That I wanted to share, and I hope that if what I'm sharing makes any sense at all, that I hope everyone gets to that point where they are happy with themselves. And then again, that's not to say we're not perfect, or there are some things about ourselves we don't want. We're always criticizing ourselves. Okay. But again, to reach that point of I am happy with myself. And, um, there's, I don't want to tie this into something else that may or may not be unrelated to it, but we will struggle probably for the rest of our lives in some way or another. Or we accept it and say, aha, I don't care what the world thinks. Um, But in a perfect world, I guess we wouldn't struggle. But I'm thinking more about the political climate right now. Um, Federal government under President Trump has been kind of unfriendly towards trans folk. And this morning I was reading on the Federal Register, which is a public domain, everything that's going on in Congress, okay, the little details. And they are changing the formulary for anti-androgens, and the pricing, or making them available or not available. It's just for the government. It could be for the military. It could be for federal employees. Okay, you see this. Why are they now messing with anti-androgens? And it makes me wonder if more changes are to come. And definitely that's kind of, to me, kind of clandestine. It's not published on the newspaper or the New York Times, but again, we will be struggling for the rest of our lives in one way or another. And again, I think maybe when we get to be a post-op, or I don't want to say that, because then I'm going to piss off everyone who's not had surgery or who doesn't want it. Maybe we reach a point that we are happy, the plateau that we are going to be for a while, to understand that there will be challenges for the rest of our lives. It's not over yet. Maybe that's what I'm building towards. Whether it's a person at the grocery store who, again, we've never met, who is so wrapped up in their own world they don't really pay attention, and they see a form near them and they just by default say, "Excuse me, sir," or "Excuse me, sir," or "Hey, buddy," or something. You know what I mean? It's like, is it really malicious on their part? Could they just have made a mistake and not seen? What if they don't, their glasses are out of prescription and they can't see, and we're not what I want to say, blatantly feminine, stereotypically. I don't know if I probably can do that if I pulled my hair back, okay, when I had short hair and no makeup, and maybe I'm wearing guys' clothes or something non-gender specific, no earrings and everything. Could I accept someone's calling me sir as just being not necessarily mean or mean-spirited, but just a mistake? There are people out there who seem to get their jollies after making anyone feel bad. Immigrant. It doesn't necessarily have to be transgender, but anyway, just wanted to share that. Perhaps a good strategy is to develop a "I don't give a fuck about what anyone else thinks" attitude. And, maybe that's a little rough, but at the same time, we do want confirmation from other people. We do want acceptance. We do want that. I'll give you an example from today. I had a guy hold the door for me, and I said, "Thank you, sir." Now, I would hold the door open for another person, male or female, if I knew they were coming. But again, someone who's a little old-fashioned, and ladies first, and they open doors for women and whatnot. I do kind of expect that. So maybe that's my own shortcomings, but I don't know. I'm not really driving towards a point, other than just to say that I felt the other day like I am in the right place where I need to be. And obviously I'm 2 years and 188 days into my transition. Now, I'm trying to remember when I started my clock. I don't think I started my clock when I started hormones. So probably 2 years. I know May 13th is my anniversary of hormones. And so I'll have to think about that. When did I actually start? So yeah, I mean, in 6 months' time, I guess it'll be 3 years on hormones. So I guess that makes sense. But anyway, I think 4 years is going to be the marker for me, because I think from what I've read, and of course everybody's different biochemically, your body is different than my body, etc., etc. Your mileage may vary, but from what I remember, 4 years is kind of the cutoff point for breasts. And for me, like I said earlier, that would be something I would want to do if I had the money and the opportunity. But I'd put that off till 4 years. I want to grow as much as I'm possibly going to grow before I mess with things. And a priority for me is to finish the electrolysis. I still have the invisible hairs. I've done laser. I've had 14 laser sessions. It's guaranteed for the rest of my life, and I'll probably take advantage of that. I don't have very many dark hairs left, but I do have the translucent ones, and so that's going to be something I'm going to want to do. But anyway, just wanted to share. Like I said, I don't necessarily know if I have a point, but I hope everyone gets to that point where they're happy with themselves, as well as to acknowledge that we may, number one, we're always going to be transgender, but also that we may always be, I don't want to say the odd one out, but we may always be a third category: male, female, and transgender. I mean, I hate to say that, because it's maybe not the right way. Man, woman, and transgender, or trans woman. I think we'll always be a third category. I don't think we can, if you got to choose man or woman, yes, woman. And would we prefer to be women instead of trans women? Perhaps. But I'm almost wondering if, for some people, they're going to pick up on it. What it used to be gaydar, I wonder if there's such a thing as transdar. And again, I can only speak from my own experience. I'm 46 years old, and I didn't transition until I was 44, and so I have 44 years of development. I mean, I'm not in puberty. I'm not 20-something years old. I'm stuck to a certain degree. There's only so much work that can be done. Even if you had an unlimited war chest for facial feminization or a trach shave or any of those things. So I don't know. Accepting perhaps the limitations that we have. All right, now I definitely am rambling, so I'm going to sign off, and I definitely wish everyone the best of luck in becoming their authentic selves, but more so, I think that being your authentic self almost is cliche now, although it's very true. But being the version of yourself that you decide that you want to be. I wish everyone the best of luck, and I hope nothing but peace for a person. Okay. All right, my friends. Till next time. I appreciate the bandwidth, and I wish you the best of luck. And we will continue this journey. I don't think it ever is going to end. All right. Till next time. Good luck.